yourself.
Hey, everybody, it's another episode of Go Flix Yourself. My name is Ben Conowitz, and with me, as always, is the Roy Disney to my Bob Iger, Bradford Oman.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah.
My brother started Disney.
That's not, is that what it sounds like?
Yep.
Have you ever heard him talk?
Me, Roy Disney. That's goofy. He never owned anything.
Exactly why. That's literally why his brother made that voice.
Oh, now
he was
I
making
get
fun
it.
of his brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that, okay, well, then that makes you the Chapek. Bob Chapek just got fired. That's your Bob Chapek.
What? Usually it's Brad you make fun of, and you give me the nice one. What happened?
I thought that Roy Disney was the worst of the three. Is it not?
No, if anything, he's pretty middle tier. I would say Michael Eisner is probably maybe the worst one.
But that's the one I remember from because that was like the Wonderful World of Disney on Sunday nights or something.
Where
on
does
ABC.
Lee Iacocca fit in here?
Different company.
All right. Well, Andrew's with us. I don't know much about Andrew because it's Nate's good friend. So, Nate, why don't you come up with a nickname for Andrew? Is he the Michael Eisner?
How harsh.
That would be really shitty of you.
Well, you took Bob Iger, right?
Yeah,
that's
he
me.
made himself Bob Iger.
I'm Bob Iger.
Yeah, that was very convenient of you. The only really, really great one.
You're all
you know
welcome.
What? I'm going to say my buddy Andrew DeSelm is the Abigail Disney of this
Oh,
podcast.
she's nice.
Oh, that's good
Not
for you.
technically
I'll take
the
it.
head of the
Yeah.
organization, but well regarded in the
Well-respected.
Disney world.
Yeah,
and
sure.
and self-aware, I'd say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Well,
Hey,
welcome, Andrew.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for being on our movie podcast where we talk about a couple of trailers, the latest movies that we assigned each other and or saw.
Uh-huh.
And maybe if we got time, we'll play a game.
I have prepared us a fantastic game.
You really did.
I did.
Oh,
Oh.
wonderful. But before we get to that, guys, it's Thanksgiving week. And I know you guys are getting excited to cook up some turkey, get your stuffing on, get some mashed potatoes in you, pour some gravy on it.
Do you guys eat the cranberry sauce like real cranberries, or do you like it to be in the shape of the can?
It's got to be in the shape of the can.
Yeah, it's got to be in the shape of the can.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are you doing otherwise? Although I will say I do like certain different cranberry recipes that
Andrew, can or
I've
no
tried.
can? Can or no can?
I grew up in a can house.
Okay.
Good.
man.
I didn't love it.
Okay, well, you know what? Yeah, you
Get
had
out
us
of
and
here.
you
Some
had
dark-
us. Had us and lost us.
Some dark stares were cast around the room when I said that.
Well, guys, I figured we'd start Thanksgiving early. So because more than just Aldi has these, they're different kinds. But I got these from Aldi. These are turkey stuffing flavored wavy potato chips. Ben, go ahead and grab
So
yourself.
for those of you that maybe are first time listeners, and maybe Andrew, we have a legitimate sponsor on this podcast every week.
Full on sponsor who gives us money.
They literally mail us a check to sponsor this one episode.
Yeah.
And this week I'm sorry, Brad, what is it?
It is turkey stuffing flavored wavy potato chips.
From Clancy's.
Yeah, well, it's the Aldi brand. Yeah.
So Aldi LLC will be sending the check this week.
I don't know if they're
Are
an
they
LLC.
like
but
yeah.
Corporation?
I don't know.
Oh no, I'm full.
No, you gotta try one. Andrew, you can go ahead and get yourself one of these
this
too.
chip is too
You
big.
can chomp this right in the microphone.
Yeah, that's the
took
thing.
it. You got
I
the-
don't do
you
it,
got
and
it.
he does.
Oh yeah, you gotta chomp it in the phone, or you gotta slurp it in the phone.
Oh.
Yeah, chomp it up, guys. Just get in there, and let's just have some talk about
Yeah,
flavors.
for a moment, we are an ASMR podcast. So
Ben, how's that chip treating you, buddy?
I wish you would stop doing this.
um,
It tastes like
it actually doesn't have
it
much
tastes like
flavor.
nothing. It tastes like
it
a
doesn't
chip.
have much flavor to me.
It really tastes like a normal chip.
It
Yeah.
tastes. It
There's
does have this.
something
It has,
a little bit
it has like
off.
stuffing seasoning, like herbs.
Yeah, but
You know
it
what-
doesn't taste
You
like.
know what this is? You accidentally stored the potato chips in the same bag right next to the gravy for like 6 months, and then you accidentally ate a chip.
Or if you ate like dry stuffing in a bag.
Yeah, I bet the Lay's version of this would have more taste.
Maybe.
Clancy's.
I've had
Try Aldi's dried stuffing in a bag.
I've had Target they have a stuffing flavor, like garlic and herb stuffing flavored
Of the-
kettle
what-
cooked chip.
of their own brand.
Yeah, and those were more flavorful than this. Those were very.
And Andrew, I do apologize. You don't have a drink. You're the only.
I
one
don't-
here that
I don't
doesn't
have a drink.
Would you care for a? I can go get you a Diet Pepsi if you'd like one.
Would you like
Or
some-
a beer? Would you like a beer?
Because
I'm good for now.
I feel
a glass
terrible.
of a glass of warm Jack Daniels.
No, because I feel terrible that Brad did this to you. He's like, here, have a chip. Oh, by the way, don't wash it down with anything for about an hour.
Well, here's the thing: should I feel bad, or should you feel bad for not offering your guest a drink?
Little column A, little column B.
Okay, well, that's what I thought. Anyway, turkey stuffing, potato chips. Chomp them at Thanksgiving.
All right. Well, and Andrew, you let me know when you need a drink, okay, buddy?
All right, I'm still like thinking about that Clancy's sponsorship and if we're doing a good enough job.
Yeah, no.
Really pushing them.
The thing the sponsors do appreciate about us is
They don't want us to shove it down your throat.
Well, I mean, they do.
Well, literally.
Like, yeah. But other than that, it's the brutal honesty of whether that the
Okay.
product is good
Yeah,
or not.
they
So-
don't want us to sacrifice our integrity just
Yeah.
for the money.
No, the sponsors do. They appreciate our brutal honesty. Like one time I said that M&M's gave me the candy coated shits.
Oh my gosh. So Ben, what movie did you watch this week?
So
Probably nothing. Probably nothing.
I watched Ghost Ship.
Well, if
All right.
Wait, really?
The bit is played out.
It's
all
not
right?
because Andrew hasn't heard it.
No, I
he
haven't.
doesn't get it.
Did you hear? I was actually excited about the fact you
Seriously?
watched Ghost Ship. I was kind of like, oh, wow.
Have you seen Ghost Ship?
No, but I just know the famous opening scene with
See?
the wires.
Oh,
Yes!
geez.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
no one ever
geez.
said that opening scene wasn't famous.
I know. Okay. Well, we don't
That's
have time.
not the victory.
We don't have time to catch everybody up. However, I will say, yes, I watched the movie that I was assigned this week.
What was it called, though?
It was called Molly's Game.
Wait a minute. Did you watch the movie that you
That
were
you were assigned
assigned
last
last
week?
week?
Wait, which was that?
500 Days of Summer?
Yeah.
No, I really didn't.
Jesus Christ.
I totally forgot about it.
What? You started it, didn't you?
This is
Yeah, I
strike,
did.
This is
Oh,
strike
my
2
God.
for you.
Yeah, no, but boys, I will say that
what can we do at this point?
Okay, listen.
I don't want to say that I'm like really hurt, but I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
I will say that I did choose Molly's Game. I was like, fuck 500 Days of Summer.
I know.
I'm
because
watching Molly's
you don't
Game.
like. He doesn't like romantic comedies.
No, I just
Yeah.
forgot and I watched Molly's Game.
Did you guys have a punishment system set up yet? That could be
We're about
This
to.
is
part
basically
of the
it.
Yeah,
fun.
this-
It's just
yeah.
shaming.
Just a lot of.
All right. So how did you like Molly's Game? Please
Tell
say-
everyone what it's about.
I will watch 500 Days of Summer.
No, you won't.
obviously.
No, you won't. Just stop.
I've
Stop lying.
I've caught up.
Stop lying to our
Before.
listeners.
Molly's Game it's very good. The writing is excellent. So the movie is the true life story of Molly Bloom, who created a poker persona, almost like an avatar of a person who is like running high stakes games, and yet they treated her in the movie, and I'm sure there's some elements to this, like she had a heart of gold, like she would never do anything wrong, and she just kind of like got trapped into this underbelly world of.
I'm not sure that they painted her as having a heart of gold.
Well, they tried very hard. I mean, the movie.
I thought it was more like she was conflicted and like she was.
No, I
'Cause-
mean,
'cause
the movie's really like this was either written by, executive produced by, or all the money came from Molly Bloom, because there's not one thing in there that's negative really about her.
I don't know. I think they
Andrew, did you see this movie by the way?
I haven't, but I understand it's about Tobey Maguire in real life. Is that?
Yeah,
Are we
that
allowed
is
to
what
talk about that, or is that an insider secret?
That is the Googling I did after the fact. Like player X, who is named in Molly's book, never was put pen to paper as far as a name, but Tobey Maguire evidently.
Yeah,
is that
people
person.
have figured out that this is who it has.
And he's
to be.
played by Michael Cera in the movie. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yes, and the guy that guy's a piece of shit in the movie.
I think,
in the movie.
But Tobey Maguire is as well.
Well, I don't know that. I
No,
really don't know that.
sure, I'm pretty sure that's been confirmed.
I've never heard that he's a piece of shit. I mean,
I think he'd have a bigger
aside
career right now.
aside from the poker stuff.
In that world, I'm
Yeah.
saying, yep. In that world, I've heard.
So
Was he just cheat or something?
So
or what?
in the movie, so he allows he helps Molly build a game and pull it away from a different person who's a piece of shit. So there's a piece of shit number one. Tobey Maguire's character is a player at that game. Says, "Hey Molly, I can help you set up a different game and fuck that guy." So then they set that up, and then he gets jealous that she's not flirting with him like she's flirting with the other guys or whatever it is, and decides, "Hey, you know what? It's either you stop making money like you were making, or I'll take the game from you." And she calls his bluff. He takes the game from her. She's destitute out in LA. She moves to New York, and that's when she really makes it as this poker kind of like $250,000 buy-in per night, like elite only game. It's that part is incredible to watch the ins and outs of how that, because you believe it, and whether or not it actually happened as told, I still believe that if she came in the door saying, I'm going to bust in the doors at Manhattan and say, "What's the biggest game here? It's $100,000 a night. 250 is my buy-in, and I'm going to make waves." And she hired Playboy Playmates to be the hostesses, but not because they were beautiful, because they were all like vipers. They were just very smart women who knew what they were doing. They're not there to bang the clients. They're there to elicit more play out of them. So they were, in effect, eye candy to get you in the door. But my God, did she make a lot of money off of tips? And it's all legal as long as you're just getting tips and not taking a rake from the game, which is a percentage of the pot that would go to the house, which would make you a casino, which is illegal. As long as you're just taking tips, it's legal in New York. She eventually gets into raking games, and that's where she gets in trouble. This whole story is being told through Idris Elba plays her lawyer, who kind of takes her on pro bono, even though she promises to pay him. And Jessica Chastain and Idris Elba have a lot of great dynamics between each other. The dialogue is very well written.
Aaron Sorkin.
It's Sorkin.
So it's,
I thought maybe it's Aaron Sorkin.
The dialogue's fantastic.
It's fantastic. I will say, they paint her to. This movie paints her to be like a saint. I mean,
I didn't get that.
I didn't get that either.
I there were times where you're sympathetic to her, but you also understand she's making decisions that are getting her to the point that she's in. I understand why she's making the decisions, but I at the end I didn't feel necessarily bad for her. The jig was up, kind of, right? Like you played the game and you got caught.
This performance was better when it was the eyes of Tammy Faye, where I believed that story more than I believed Molly's game, as far as like what really happened. And a victim of circumstance for Tammy Faye, not so much a victim of circumstance for Molly Bloom, if that makes sense.
But I didn't feel like they were trying to paint her as a victim of circumstance.
Yeah, because she made the decision she made. Like it's like sure she maybe got like in too deep, and like things got rougher than she wanted them to. But that was her decision.
Mistreated by some of the players.
She was. There was a lot of bad shit that happened to her. At the same time, there were a lot of times where the movie was just trying to give her the gold star, the Presidential Medal of Freedom for being honest Molly. Like, it was
Ben,
really
what's your
heavy-handed.
problem with women?
It was in my opinion, it was just really heavy-handed when how they handled it.
So you hated it?
I really enjoyed the movie. I just wish that it would have been a little bit more realistic. I'm sure that's
a little bit of a Sorkin thing, though, right? I feel like he can sometimes dip into a level
for sure.
A measure of, I don't know if heavy-handed is quite like the precise thing, but there's something
that's probably like,
well, it's almost like, I mean,
it's an insult, and he doesn't deserve that,
right? But it's somewhat, I mean, an equal insult. It's almost like sentimental in a way or something. Like there's something about that he kind of tugs one of his ropes a little too hard.
Yeah, I mean, even The Social Network, it has the way he dramatizes stuff. He brings kind of he makes it a little bit more grandiose, I guess.
Sure.
You could say.
No. Yeah, if you're writing that role to lend it certain scenes more gravitas than they probably really had in real life, and somebody coming out being a better person than they maybe were in that moment.
Yeah.
And that if he's guilty of anything, it's that. It's embellishing the good parts of a person because you want to drive the narrative in that direction. A lot of times there's nothing wrong with that. I felt it more in this movie than I have in previous movies. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all. But overall, honestly, it really made me miss playing poker. I played poker a lot in college. It made me miss it.
What did you think about 500 Days of Summer?
So the first 5 minutes that I've seen in that movie, it's actually pretty good.
Okay, good.
So there's some really stark opening scenes. There's like a little bit of a shift in the way that a movie should open. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Good.
I'll let you know how the other 97 minutes goes, or whatever. How long?
Nate, what's the last movie you saw, or I guess what's the movie you were assigned? If you want to start there.
Well, I was assigned a movie by my friend Ben Ganowitz, and
you watched it because he signed it to you, right?
And when did I assign this movie to you?
Like a day ago.
Like yesterday.
Yeah, and he watched
because I forgot that too.
And here's how hypocritical Ben is. Ben tells everyone, like in our text thread, which is the three of us.
Hey guys, can we get our movies? Because I don't have much time this week. I gotta go to the arcade.
Literally, I don't know if you guys know how important I am, but I don't have a lot of time.
You made his voice a little bit better.
Yeah. Yours are a little more like Cartman.
Yeah.
By the way, this isn't a video podcast, is it? Because I want the audience to know that there's a man right now is weeping quietly. Everybody else is laughing, but one man over here is crying.
While my Ben Conowitz gently weeps.
And so I have to go through our list of 17,000 movies, by the way, that these jokers keep on adding movies to this list. We've only all seen like 15,000 or like 2,000 of these 17,000, but yet we're still adding movies to this
like
list.
6,000 movies on this thing.
It's way too long.
It's every movie that we can think of.
And it only feels long because you haven't seen movies.
It's not that. It's that I have to go through and check all the movies in it, and then you're like, hey, Nate, you should watch Casablanca. I've seen that. Why didn't you check the thing? Well, because I didn't get to the C's because I only had 17 hours to go through it.
Sounds like a you problem, buddy.
Yeah, you don't need to come to Brad with that shit because clearly I've got the time, and so do you.
Yeah, somehow you found a way to go through all the lists.
We hadn't opened the arcade yet.
Anyway, I watched American Ultra, and it's directed by Nima Norizada, is that right?
Sure.
Okay. She had only directed Project X, and I think has only directed Project X since then. Written by Ben Conowitz's favorite writer, Max Landis.
Why would you say that?
Well, you recommended this movie.
I don't even know who Max Landis is, and I had to look it up after you said that, by the way.
And are you proud?
No, I wish I wouldn't have offered that movie up.
Dark.
I didn't know this at all.
For those of you didn't know that,
I didn't know
that's
about
the one thing I knew about the movie. I know about the movie. It's written by Max Landis.
Have you seen it? Or no?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Max Landis is the son of John Landis, who is a very renowned filmmaker who is also known for getting some people killed on a movie set.
Some
Did he
controversies.
really?
Yeah, you don't know about this?
Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah, mistakenly neglected with a big set piece involving a helicopter and got some kids and some people killed on the set of the Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah, and also it's also part of the controversy is whether it's mistakenly neglected
Right.
or very, very intentionally neglected.
Exactly.
Like, did he not like these people?
No. As in,
We-
they went ahead and did stuff even though he knew it wasn't
sort of-
safe.
like,
we
this
need to
is
get
not
this
safe.
done.
He's like,
He was
go ahead, do it
willfully.
anyway.
The argument is, I'm not saying this, but there's an argument that he was willfully careless, and it was everybody within a miles radius would be like, "This is not a good idea," and he did.
And he's like,
You
we
know-
need to finish this. Let's do it anyway.
Do you know how to appreciate what you just did?
"What's
You
that?"
did like a legal disclaimer. I'm not saying this, just in case John Landis.
Well,
is listening to this.
I do find
if
myself
John Landis is listening, hey, fuck you, buddy.
I'm saying it out loud. You killed those people.
yeah, I won't say that at all.
But no, so Max Landis is John Landis' son. He was a fairly well-regarded screenwriter in his own right for a little bit while. Then it kind of came out that he was a sexual harasser and an asshole, and has kind of since fallen off and not really doing much
Is the
anymore.
most recent thing he's done is Bright that was on Netflix? Is
Yeah,
that
I
right?
believe so. So yeah, that's
Is
who
the
Max.
sequel still coming out? Brighter?
That's who Max Landis is, and that's who Ben likes.
So it's starring.
Just, willing to do that just to skip over my Bright sequel joke. Okay.
Well,
That's fine.
just wasn't very good. All right, so there's starring Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart, Topher Grace, Connie Britton, Walter Goggins. Is it Goggins?
Walton Goggins.
Walton.
Goggins. Thank you, John Leguizamo, Bill Pullman, and Tony Hale. I was surprised to see Tony Hale in it. I wanted to really like this film, and I did watch it last night. I like everything. Have you ever watched a film where it has all the pieces that you should like, right?
Yep.
It has a cast that I liked. It has a kind of a premise that I should like. So the premise is essentially
Stoner Born Identity.
yeah, exactly. That is a great way to put it. So it introduces you to Jesse Eisenberg and his girlfriend, played by Kristen Stewart, who Jesse Eisenberg has. He's clearly a stoner and he's got all these issues. It starts with him talking about how much he loves his girlfriend, though, and he wants to propose to her. They're going to go on this vacation. They can't get there, though, because he has so much anxiety. Immediately, you're like, what is wrong with this dude, right? There's so much wrong with this guy. The movie then unfolds with this guy essentially being a part of MK Ultra, which is the program that was a secret CIA program that potentially trained assassins or trained agents and stuff like that. And what it is Jesse Eisenberg is not actually a stoner with no life. He's actually a trained assassin or a trained MK Ultra person that doesn't know it,
It's a sleeper cell,
but eventually
Gets activated.
Correct.
like a Manchurian candidate.
Here's what I liked about this movie. I like the premise, right? I like the premise of it. What it didn't do for me was it either needed to be an action movie or a comedy movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like it did. I think it tried to straddle both of those.
and it ends up not doing either
Thank you.
particularly
That's
well.
exactly
Yeah.
what I thought. And so when I was watching it, I'm like, there needs to either be like a Judd Apatow, Seth Rogen comedy bit in here that's a little more funny.
Yeah.
Or it needs to go Jason Bourne-esque and be a little bit more of an action film. And it didn't do either one
This
for
movie
me.
reminds me, I felt very similarly to that movie 30 Minutes or Less.
Yes.
It didn't know what it wanted to be either, and it failed on both accounts.
Eisenberg still does great. Kristen Stewart does great. The performances aren't bad. It's just the story unfolded, and at the end, I'm like, okay.
I was on the set of 30 Minutes or Less. They shot up. They shot up in Michigan.
Cool.
It
Humble brag.
It was pretty cool.
Did you like American Ultra, Andrew?
No, I think I felt similar to you. I think it's one of those things that, like, we were just talking The Social Network, right? And
Yep.
I sort of feel like Social Network on the page, maybe not on the page, but like in theory, is like nothing kind of. When you watch it, for me, when I watch it, it's just like this is stunning. It's like a top 10 movie for me. I feel like American Ultra is one of those movies that like maybe with you just sort of shake up the bucket of possibilities of actors and directors and sort of tones, and let the same script just settle, but with this different configuration, it actually works.
Sure,
but it just doesn't. And that was my reaction. It's like, oh, what's a scene that I remember? 6 years on or whatever it's been. It's like nothing.
I remember a convenience store blows up.
I remember a convenience store kind of blowing up, and I remember him
all I
being
remember.
like locked in a bathroom, unable to move because he's panic. But none of these scenes are like exciting or something
no.
that's like a notable, like, oh yeah, that's the thing that stands out as a set piece that's remarkable.
And I tend to like Topher Grace. I didn't love him in this. He didn't play the lead of the bad guys as well as I wanted him to. And so I would have he's the only one that I probably would have recast. I tend to like him though, but just not in this one.
No, I think you're totally right. It's like he's great. It's just totally miscast. I think someone else with the same dialogue.
Yep. There was a couple missing
like
pieces.
Goggins should have been the main guy.
He would have probably been better.
Yeah.
But again,
you can say that about any movie though. So I think
he's tremendous.
Yes.
He's pretty great.
All right. What did you watch, Brady?
I was assigned a movie by you, Nate, called Heart's War. And this is a movie that...
Wow, that is old school. I was not expecting that name to come up.
Wait. To be fair, Brad has only not seen 7 movies that have been made.
Of the 6,000,
not remotely true.
Of the 6,000 films, I counted 210 he hadn't seen.
So
it's
Ben and I always
That's
have a
not
hard
true.
time finding.
No, I haven't.
Wow, yeah.
Jeez. But you almost believed it.
I almost
So
did. I was like, wow, really? That seems weird.
I honestly feel like if I had to guess, and I'm not gonna look, but I would guess that if there are truly 6,000 films on that list, I think you've seen 4,000 of them.
That's probably a safe bet. I think there's
and I've seen 3,000 and Nate's seen 20.
Nate's seen quite a bit,
and they've all Christmas movies.
And they're all Christmas movies.
Yeah, that's true. So I watched Heart's War. This is a movie from 2002.
Early Colin Farrell.
Yes, yeah, early. I mean, well, yeah, I guess fairly
like his fourth role.
Decently early.
It's
Colin
decent.
Farrell.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he had
Had
still
he done Daredevil yet?
Yes.
Had he done Minority Reports? That's why I think of it as his breakout.
Yeah, not done
role.
Minority Report.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So this is a movie that's directed by Gregory Hoblit, and man, this was such a cool movie to me. It felt like a throwback to like classic movies that they made like in like the 40s and 50s, because it is it's a prisoner of war drama. It is a legal drama, and then almost a prison break movie. But yeah, this was spectacular, man.
Bruce Willis is surprisingly good in this, right?
He really is. He is fantastic.
Back when he was putting effort into his
roles? Well, I mean, he kind of has an excuse
now.
nowadays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, sorry. Just to be clear, I'm not talking about the last 4 years.
We're talking about Cop Out. We're not talking about
I'm talking about the last like 15 years, not the last like 3 years.
Like Cop Out from 2010 and beyond.
Boy, he really gave up, huh?
He's really in an aphasia of his career.
Oh, geez.
Wow. Listen.
There was a line. line.
Listen. It's a joke. I love Bruce Willis. I'm sure he's doing quite well.
I'm glad you like
you
this
might be
because
mistaken
I
about
haven't seen it since it came out. Actually, I don't think like in that era, and I remember really loving it when it came out because of that. It kind of markets itself as if it's like almost a war movie, and it came out in a season of war movies. Right, there was very popular war movies. But I remember watching this thinking, it's more than that. It's actually almost more of a legal kind of,
Yeah, I was very surprised by some of the turns it's taken. It has a good ensemble cast too. Terrence Howard is in it. Sam Worthington has a bit part in it. Cole Hauser is in it. But yeah, it's a very compelling drama. I love how it moves in between these subgenres. And yeah, really, really compelling. I would say the end maybe...
Well, real quick, I don't think we've...
I'm not going to spoil it.
No, we haven't even touched on what it is, though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So Heart's War follows Colin Farrell. It's set in World War II. He's a soldier. He's also a lawyer, and he gets taken prisoner by the Nazis during war, and he's in this POW camp with a bunch of other captured American soldiers. While these American soldiers are there, new prisoners are brought in all the time. And there are these 2 black Air Force pilots that are brought in. And this is a time, obviously, racism is rampant. And so they're treated less than, even though they're officers, and they're put into the barracks where the enlisted men are. They're not even in the same barracks with the other officers. So they're being mistreated, and then it's set up that one of them is like coaxed out of their barracks and ends up being accused of murdering another white soldier, and it's a soldier who is kind of like harassing them. And then it unfolds from there because I didn't know that this is something that they did, but like this prison camp is so established, and like these people have been there for so long, they're doing stuff like putting on their own stage shows, mocking Nazis. And so they decide to have a court case basically to try this black Air Force pilot for the murder, and the Nazis are the ones who are the jurors, and they decide what's going to happen. And I won't say anything else that happens after that because like it's kind of cool to see how it unfolds, but it's a very compelling story. Everyone is really good in it, and I really enjoyed it quite a bit. It was a good suggestion, Nate.
It was better than the one I had. Yeah.
You know what, Nate? Next time I have to give you a movie, buddy. I promise you. I will give you a good movie.
Wait. Guess what, guys? Guess what next week starts?
What?
It's on Christmas season. He's gonna be real excited.
All we're gonna get is Hallmark movies. We gotta watch Dean Cain Saves the North Pole.
So
it's great.
Okay,
Yeah.
so before we get, I want to talk about a couple other things that I've seen. But first, Andrew, what's the last movie you saw, buddy?
I'm glad you asked. Actually, I didn't know this was coming up. The last movie I watched was Brian De Palma's Blowout,
Oh, okay.
which is a fantastic
I have no
movie.
idea
Do you
what
not
that
know what that
is.
is?
Yeah.
Was this the first time you'd seen it?
No. It's I don't know, fourth time I've seen it.
Okay.
Oh, you must love this film.
Yeah. I also just find myself more and more rewatching movies than I do watching new movies. But
So I've never even heard of this person. Brian De what?
You don't know who Brian De
I'm
Palma
kidding.
is?
Oh,
Jesus.
I'm kidding.
Don't
But
don't joke about that.
I'm kidding. But I have not heard of Blowout.
have you seen Blowout?
No, I
It's-
don't. I really
it's
don't know what that is.
fantastic.
So I'm an idiot. Tell me.
Yeah. Well, wow, that was really loud. Sorry. Yeah. So I sort of think of there's this golden arc of De Palma's career in the late 70s, early 80s, and this is like the peak of that arc. So it stars John Travolta, and it sort of is in the paranoid conspiratorial thriller mode, and it's sort of a reimagining play off of Michelangelo Antonioni's Blow Up, which is a 60s movies. And then that was kind of followed by Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation, which I believe was before Blowout. And all these movies.
Hey, Ben and I have never seen any of those.
All these movies have this great central conceit of sort of trying to reconstruct the nature of reality and perception through art. So with Antonioni's Blow Up, he takes a picture of what he thinks is a murder, but as he continues to blow up or make the photograph bigger and bigger and bigger, and with 1960s technology, the image becomes grainier and grainier, so the killer looks less and less like an actual thing, and that becomes a major thing. And in The Conversation by Francis Ford Coppola, it's with audio where he records things, and he thinks he records, I forget, murder. Actually, I'm kind of embarrassed. I kind of forget.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And Blowout is actually sort of a combination of both, where John Travolta is a sound man for really trashy horror movies, and he's out trying to record the sound of wind. And while he's doing so, a senator that's potentially going to be the next president is driving by and technically is believed to have like a tire blowout, but he believes that he recorded a gunshot.
Gotcha.
And it's all about sort of trying to reconstruct this conspiracy by virtue of having this audio. And there's these just really wonderful, all three of those movies I just listed have these really, really wonderful scenes of like this very tactile technology of art and film and celluloid kind of being reconstructed. And they all have these great just scenes of just the delicate use of instruments. And it sounds really, really boring, but there's something really, really fascinating in a good director's hands of trying to recreate the sound and trying to like piece together this mystery. And he does these really, really incredible flourishes. Also, side notes, I believe it's Quentin Tarantino's favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, I read that. I just read now.
Yeah, he loves it.
And it makes sense because it really is just sort of that director with his formalistic style at like the peak of his powers. I think it's worth watching if you have any sort of interest in film style, just because it's so like notably stylish. And that's when Brian De Palma could kind of do that and it kind of work. And then it just sort of tilts in the 90s and the aughts where that kind of style starts feeling campy and you can't quite justify as much. Because everything has to become like colder, I think. And I don't know. It's just really fascinating. So.
Well, you know what? We're going to assign it to Ben and he won't watch that one either. So
I will watch 500 Blowouts all day long.
Hey, now, Nate, just to be clear here, Brian De Palma directed the first Mission Impossible movie, and that's what makes it so fucking good.
Yeah.
Do you like Mission Impossible?
That's like my favorite action series.
Oh, Nate, interesting.
They're going to replace me.
Now,
Wait, you don't like Mission Impossible?
No, he doesn't get it.
So, okay. Nate has only seen now the first two. Because he's never seen it.
Wait.
All right. Well,
Ben's favorite is number 2. Do
It's
you love
not,
him?
no.
By the way, I wish you guys could have saw Andrew's look right there.
Whoa!
Like, Andrew actually, like,
Oh, look at the time.
he got up. He started getting up.
I actually started pulling my shirt off just to,
To fight
I just felt this primal rage.
We will just get into this.
or kiss.
Wait, have you actually seen the second one, Nate?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I hadn't seen any of them.
Yeah.
I saw the first 2.
And he thought the
So-
first one was
hold on,
just okay.
Hold on.
I thought the first one
Hold
was
on,
okay.
Hold the phone. Hold on. Nate had never seen any.
Okay.
And then we assigned him the first one, and he watched it.
Okay.
And he was like, eh. We assigned him
I
the
said
second
it's
one,
okay.
and
It's okay.
we told him the second one's not good.
Yeah, you should
But-
have just
but-
known to skip over
But
that one.
what we want him to be a completionist because we'd
Uh-huh.
love him to watch all of them just to see where the series had its ebbs and flows.
The problem is there's like 7 of them. So
But-
you
way
might
too
as
many
well
of them.
skip the bad one.
I'm sorry,
I feel
that's
like.
not a problem.
Hey, no.
I sort of feel like number 2 is it's like Tokyo Drift, where it's just
I was
like,
just gonna say that.
it's a sidebar.
I just yelled. I'm so sorry. I was literally gonna be like, "You've got to appreciate the Tokyo Drift to get to the Fast Five." Okay?
Two people are gonna kiss on this podcast.
Andrew is my new co-host. I created this show. I will change out
Okay,
characters as needed.
but-
I will come to South Bend. We'll record.
All right,
Let's do it.
Andrew, let me defend myself here. All
Okay.
right, from these heathens.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've got an issue with Tom Cruise. I'm not a big fan of
Oh,
Tom Cruise.
my.
Okay,
These
this
guys-
is how he's going to
these
defend
guys-
himself.
Here we go.
These guys also being anti-psychology, anti-mental health people.
Oh, I have a psychology degree.
Working in the gutter industry. All right.
Oh my god, you fucking like AOC's a bartender. What is wrong with you?
As a personal friend of Nate Laux, he's kind of an alt-right guy.
Yeah.
So
You're done. All right.
So what were you going to say, Nate?
yeah, what were we gonna say about that?
I was just saying
You have
that
no point.
I don't
You don't like
genuinely love Tom Cruise. That said, these guys got me back on the Tom Cruise bandwagon.
We made him watch Maverick.
because I watched Maverick. Did
And
you
he
watch
really
Maverick?
liked it.
I did watch Maverick. Yeah.
I liked Maverick a lot, and I thought I should give Tom Cruise another try. And so I started watching the movies, and being a part of that.
Thomas
So-
Mapother III can do no wrong.
Yes, he can. No, clearly, you've
Cinematically.
not heard what he talks about. He can do a lot of wrong. All right?
Cinematically.
Cinematically.
No, I just think that once you see the third one, and I mean this, once you see the third Mission Impossible, the tide will have shifted. You will
didn't
agree. You will.
Why didn't you assign me that
You
instead
will-
of the one you
you
just
will
assigned
agree.
me today?
You will
Well, to be
agree.
fair, we shifted away, and also we wanted to give you a break because we were whining about it quite a bit.
Yeah,
You
were being a little wuss about it.
Not me.
You were. I will say though, he's one of the best villains of any series. In
Philip
any-
Seymour
Tom
Hoffman.
Cruise.
Philip-
Tom Cruise is.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Are you guys advocates for 3?
I love
Oh
three.
yeah.
Love
Wow.
three.
Yeah.
Okay, I found my people. I feel like people always
No, I
take a dump on 3.
Yeah,
and I'm
no.
always like, whoa. They're always like, oh yeah, once we get to like Ghost Protocol, no, that's when it gets good. I'm like, whoa.
What?
No,
Whoa.
I think a lot of the complaints for 3 are because J.J. Abrams, he was still kind of figuring himself out as a big screen filmmaker. He brought some of his
I
television
still like
sensibility.
it.
No,
I
I do
still
too.
like it.
I love it. I think it's fantastic. I liked it since it came out, and I will defend it. To
I even
anybody
like his
criticizing.
sensibilities. Now, granted, I think 90% of it is
Lens
Hoffman.
flare.
It's Hoffman. No, it's Hoffman that I love. But I don't have
Never
very many
regretted
complaints.
a moment
Hoffman is
more than
incredible.
this bringing you on this.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm
No,
sorry.
it is. He's an all-time.
Yeah, that
villain.
that cold open with him is incredible.
I'm not sure that I have loved a performance from a villain more until I saw Javier Bardem in
No Country.
Lao Crocodile.
no, as far as a franchise is concerned, in the Bond franchise,
Oh, okay.
he was amazing as that villain. And I remember thinking, oh my god, like this is what like in a franchise of storied villains, how do you set
Right.
yourself apart? The Mission Impossible franchise has had now its litany of villains, and Hoffman still is right there at the top.
Yeah, I actually think that their current kind of ongoing serialized villain now, as much as I love those movies,
it's
it's
not.
fine. And I'm not
yeah.
I'm not trying to be a hater or anything. I just I think compared to Hoffman, I just was like that opening. I demand that Nate tries to watch the
Exactly.
opening 5 minutes of Mission Impossible 3 and not finish it off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
so compelling. And I think that the guy, the kind of the ongoing kind of villain that kind of is in the background of the rest of them is just like, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nate's wrong. We're right.
Well, speaking of a good, compelling series with compelling villains, A Christmas Prince on Netflix.
Oh my god.
Why?
Is this real?
Well, we will use that as a segue to talk about a Christmas movie because, and I don't know if any of the rest of you guys have seen this yet, but last week I went to go see A Christmas Story Christmas, a great title for a sequel. And I got to see it in theaters, which was fun because it's not playing in theaters because it came straight to HBO Max last week. And Nate, have you watched this yet?
No, I have watched a couple other Christmas movies, but I have not watched that one. No.
What other Christmas movies took your time before you watched the Christmas
I
Story
have to
Christmas?
think of it, but I watched a couple.
Did you watch the new Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds? one?
I watched it twice. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, he watched that twice.
No, I watched it. No,
instead of
And
watching
instead
a
of
new
watching
movie.
500 Days of Summer,
Listen.
like you were assigned, you piece of shit.
Let me explain myself. So I watched it one night after the kids went to bed, and then the kids wanted to watch it the next night, so I watched it again with them,
Mm-hmm.
and I like it.
You could have just watched it once.
Well, I'm not gonna. We have one TV in our
Anyway,
house.
I
that's
saw
not
A
very
Christmas
spirited.
Story Christmas, and guess what, guys? It's okay.
I mean, it was,
Predictions.
was it
check mark.
was it a full version of the trailer we saw, which was okay.
You texted us afterwards,
Yeah.
and you kind of downplayed it a little bit. The ratings are a little bit better than what you're saying.
And you're the number of vomit emojis you used.
No, it's
Did you fall in love with Peter Billingsley's eyes when you met him?
I mean, it's crazy how blue, shocking
Are they
blue.
really
that
that-
his eyes are really that blue. It's crazy.
Andrew went to a screening with him there, right?
Yeah.
Or sorry,
No,
not
I'm Andrew. I did not
His,
do
his
anything.
name's Brad.
I did not.
Brad went to a screening with him there, and the blue eyes.
Yeah. No, for real.
Every time I see them in picture, I'm like,
him as
oh
a person,
my
though,
word.
he is surprisingly tiny. Very, very tiny man.
Well, yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
weird.
I saw the first
Yeah.
movie.
I wouldn't think.
Anyway, so the movie is just okay. Honestly, it is a bit better than the trailer would indicate.
Is it is it like a retread sequel? Or they're just like Fred Gile again, and the
Fred
so-
Gile.
the leg
do they do
lamp.
Fred Gile? Because if they do, I'm not.
So no. So here's the thing. It follows a similar path as far as like how the Christmas unfolds. They do a lot of the similar things that they did in the first one. They go get a Christmas tree. They go to Higbee's department store. They go see Santa. All this stuff. But it plays a little bit differently because it has this added emotional core where his father has passed away. He's come back home with his family, his 2 kids and his wife, and his mom wants him to just try and make it a good Christmas so that they're not all just sad and depressed because his father has passed away. So there's that added element to it, but
And that part didn't get to you?
that's the thing is like if any movie was gonna pull at my heartstrings, it would be a sequel to a movie that I love about a family whose father has died.
Right.
It did not make
Why?
me. It did not make me. It did not make me cry. And it doesn't feel like the emotional core works so well. But beyond that, what makes this movie not work as well as the original is that it's missing the mischievous young charm of the original movie, because this movie is squarely focused on an adult Ralphie. And even though his kids are part of the equation, it's not focused on those kids. They're a part of the story, but this is Ralphie's story again as an adult. And it's just it lacks a little bit of that rascal sense of humor. And what I did like about it is it still had this Midwestern sensibility. It has that charming cynicism about it that Gene Shepard did so well by satirizing capitalism and like family culture and like really tearing down this Norman Rockwellian like view of like Christmas, of like, you know, the perfect magazine cover, you know, Christmas dinner with your family around the Christmas tree and all this stuff,
Ben's upbringing.
and just giving it like a dysfunctional Midwestern family flair. That's still there. They have some
Brad's
really
upbringing.
nice they have some really nice Midwestern comedic touches, but it just never really gained enough traction for me to like really love it. It's just kind of it's just there, you know.
Now you brought your mom with you.
Yeah.
Did she like it?
She kind of felt the same way I did. Like she didn't love it either. She laughed, you know. She thought it was charming, but she didn't, you know, necessarily fall in love with it either. And like she actually like read my full review afterwards, and she's like, you know, she's like, yeah, this is kind of how I felt afterwards too. She's like,
I hated it too.
she's like, I liked watching it in the moment. She's like, but like if you go and like start thinking about it, it's just like, yeah, this is okay.
It's not a film you'd want to rewatch every season.
Exactly. I'll rewatch A Christmas Story till the cows come home. Everything, but this like A Christmas Story Christmas, I'm not gonna be like, hey, let's all sit around and experience this.
At
again.
least in this one, when he plugs in all the lights on the house, did they go on the first time?
That problem is there though. There are 3 or 4 instances where it feels like they're replicating scenes from National Lampoon's
Which is what
Christmas
the trailer
Vacation.
felt like,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So yeah, it's okay.
It's fine.
Did the was it the Bupkis dogs?
The Bumpus hounds.
Bumpus hounds.
Bumpus, yeah.
Did they have puppies and now those are the ones that are terrorizing the? Is it just like a continuation?
No, do you want to real answer this question?
I really do, because I'm never gonna watch this movie.
There's a hillbilly.
Nope, spoiler alert.
It's not really a spoiler. There's a hillbilly kid that the Bumpus kid next door, and he's kind of like a tangential friend to like Ralphie's kids, and there are Bumpus puppies.
Is the lamp in there somewhere?
The lampshade is. The lamp is not because the lamp is broken.
Yeah, but okay. They
Smart.
did
And that's
Ralphie wears it on his head at a Christmas party. He goes, I'm my dad's dad.
So that is one other issue I had with the movie is it kind of beats you over the head with the nostalgia in a way where like they didn't need to quite be quite so obvious about it.
They're not.
They do stuff where like
They're not Easter eggs. They're literally.
Yeah, they have shots like the shot of the lampshade. It lingers on it in the attic, sitting on top of like a chest, and then it does this thing where it does echoes of the lines from the first movie, Fragile. And I'm just like, come on, guys,
we knew.
Yeah,
we knew.
like
we
there's
knew.
like there's a shot of the pink bunny suit in a dusty box, and
yeah,
you
you
hear
don't
it
have
looks
to
like
say-
a pink nightmare, and it's just like, oh Jesus, we get it, guys. So yeah, whatever, it's fine.
Although that's sort of the paradox of making a movie like that, right? Like it's not, you don't think of A Christmas Story as like, oh, the filmmakers, the auteurs behind it, that's what we want to follow their career.
Right.
It's like, no, it's the kind of boomerish, I mean, really it's Gen X millennial nostalgia for it. And you can't not have those things. So you're just kind of stuck.
And here's the thing is like it would be fine if they had those things. I don't mind that. I expect
the
it.
bunny suit without the over.
Exactly. You don't need to like jam it down our throat. Like if you see the bunny suit and you don't get it, this movie's not for you.
Yeah, no, because I
Go
guess-
watch the first one.
Well,
Yeah.
I wonder if it's I think it's for people that want it to linger on the bunny suit and say the thing, and then
Yeah,
they go,
so-
"Oh yes."
So you think
Ah, that's something
No,
that I
and
like.
I meant that.
Andrew
that
says that this movie's made for dumb people.
well, that was way more condescending than I meant it. But I do think, the way you're describing it is that it's not necessarily a super well crafted movie. It's not necessarily super well thought out. It's like, oh man, we have to tell this story. It's like, well, we're doing this for nostalgia baiting.
They did.
And like,
It does
the
feel
people
like
that are
they
going to enjoy it
did.
the most are going to be the people who kind of want to like,
Really hammer
pluck
those
it,
home.
Yeah, pluck at
It
those
does feel
nostalgia
like
strings.
they did try to like give it a real effort and not just make it like a cash in of like
Okay.
doing it just for the sake of
It
nostalgia.
wasn't like the made direct-to-video sequel. Or
God,
whatever.
no.
Did you actually watch that?
That is just a hefty piece of
You
shit.
should
you watch it?
You should be looking at Nate.
Oh, boy.
Did you watch that?
The Christmas Story 2 with Daniel Stern.
No, I have not watched that one.
Oh wow.
Oh, well, it's on your list.
So I guess you don't love every Christmas movie.
So no, but what I will say about that is that to me that means that the studio themselves or whoever the producers, directors, whatever, they're not trusting that if they only showed the bunny suit, it would appease those people. They're really pandering when they maybe don't need to. And then if you don't pander, you're gonna catch people like Nate and you and Brad and me that are go, oh, what a really well done movie, and now it's more popular. I think that studios in and of themselves tend to not trust audiences and they really always want to hammer that home. And so the notes from the studio most likely are, you really should do some stuff from the first one. And if a director stuck to his guns and said, no, we're only going to just have it in the corner and it'll be fine. If they would trust those more and more, I think that it would pay dividends, but nobody's willing to take that risk.
Yeah. To be fair, though, the only people critiquing it are probably people like Brad that have watched a lot of films that I actually know.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be like the common denominator of audiences
critic.
out there who, critics, they just hate movies.
It's
So,
clear.
Yeah.
Their job is to shit on
And this
movies.
was a movie that was for the fans.
Brad and I went to go see 2 weeks ago. We went to go see Black Panther before it came released, and there was just a bunch of film critics. And I went to the bathroom afterwards, and they're like, "Well, what the guy said."
You better not spoil it.
No. But it was clearly a bunch of film critics in there because he's like, I mean, it was fine. It was kind of I think I did some things right, and I'm like, the film was freaking awesome. All right, like,
You shut your mouth, Rodney. Okay, I don't need that from you right now.
Rodney is pretty pretentious. But yeah, so A Christmas Story, Christmas, whatever. Watch it. It's on HBO Max if you want to. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. No.
Ringing
Perfect.
endorsement. Ringing endorsement.
Perfect.
I'm not gonna. It's no skin off my sack. We're gonna take a quick break because we're gonna do something different we've done before. I'm gonna have everybody watch a trailer, and then we're gonna talk about it because I'm gonna talk about this movie that I watched, and I want to get the live reaction of what you guys think about it in the moment. So,
Well,
we'll be right back
wish us
after
luck.
these messages.
Hi, this is Brad Oman, and no one knows I'm doing this, but I just want to let you all know that turkey stuffing potato chips are delicious, and I hope you enjoy them.
All right, so we just watched the trailer for Christmas with the Campbells. If you want to follow along with this, you can stop and you can watch it right now. We just watched this trailer for the first time. Nate, you had seen part of it, it seems like.
do you know why I had seen part of it? I posted to our freaking social media pages, and you guys didn't watch it.
Well, we don't follow our own social media pages because we're not obsessed with ourselves,
Hey,
Nate.
whoa. I saw it. I just didn't watch it.
Okay. So what
Just
is
joking, buddy.
No. Why did I post it? 'Cause
Alex Moffat.
freaking Moffat.
Alex
now?
Moffat.
What is your guys' reaction to this trailer?
I love Christmas movies. I'll watch anything.
I didn't ask you if you like Christmas movies. I asked you what your reaction to the trailer was.
Christmas with my crank my dick. Is that what this is? I mean, it feels very.
It sounds like you watched a porn trailer.
I mean, that's kind of what
No,
this
that was pretty good. I thought that was a pretty good pun. That was good.
It was a very like
Thanks,
adult R-rated kind of Christmas film, but it wasn't like Bad Santa R-rated. It was more.
It's riding a
sexual.
line of very sexual, family friendly. I don't know. It's very weird.
Yeah, it's not sexy. It's just like kind of a
raunchy.
yeah, like a clean raunch.
Let's have an old lady say something.
Whip your dick out.
Yeah,
Right.
and she's 67.
So
she's not 90.
maybe older, but yeah.
So this movie came across my inbox because I got an email from the publicist, and they're like, hey, this movie's coming out. Brittany Snow, Justin Long, Alex Moffat, and the director, they're all going to be available for interviews. If you're interested, we can send you a screener. And so I was like, okay, yeah, go ahead, send it over. Because I saw what it was about, and I saw what it looked like. I haven't even watched the trailer yet. The trailer hadn't been released. And I was like, what would compel all these people to do a movie? Because it looks like a Hallmark holiday romance. I'm like, why? Is this just like a cash grab? Like, what is this? So I start watching it, and within the first 10 minutes is Alex Moffat breaking up with Brittany Snow, and he's got that line. So you keep that pussy.
10 seconds, you mean, right? The trailer's not 10 minutes long.
He's like, no, in the movie.
Oh, you actually watched the movie.
Into the movie. And so he says, like, you keep that pussy so fresh. I'm like, what's going on? And I keep watching the movie, and it is making me laugh out loud consistently. But the weird thing is
you're embarrassed by it.
I'm like, how is this movie so funny? But this is the fun thing about it is entirely crafted as a genuine Hallmark holiday romance, and it's because Vince Vaughn, who produced this movie, and Peter Billingsley, funnily enough, had the idea because Vince Vaughn's wife watches Hallmark Christmas movies. She's like, I want to make one of these movies, but I want to punch it up and put adult R-rated humor into it. So they got Ben. What are you gonna say?
Sorry. Does this mean that you feel like this is, but it's not a full-blown parody like they came together?
No, that's the thing. It's like,
so that's why I'm having a problem.
What's interesting is sometimes
not a problem with the movie, getting a problem understanding what it is.
So sometimes it almost it's like it feels like it's on the cusp of, if they pushed it a little bit further, it could be a parody, and it's because the R-rated stuff feels so different than the core of the movie.
It doesn't seem forced.
Yeah,
necessarily.
It's not forced. It works. It's very funny, and it's funny because of the actors in it. But it's
out of place though.
Yeah, but not in a bad way. It's really funny.
Well, now I got to see this movie.
There's so much funny stuff in this movie because it feels like a cheesy Hallmark movie, but they injected this genuine adult humor into it. And I watched it, and I was so surprised by how good it was. I told my mom about it. And so I made her watch it, and she was cracking up, and she was like, I want them to do more like this. And I was like, yeah, I want them to do a movie like this every single year.
Nate's favorite genre of film. Hallmark Christmas movies that are made for adult humor.
Seriously.
There have been some really good R-rated Christmas movies in the last couple of years, maybe the last 10 years.
Die Hard.
No, Seth Rogen made one, 'Twas the Night. Did you guys see that one?
The night before.
Or the night before. Yeah, that's right.
Office Christmas Party.
Office Christmas Party is another one. Bad Moms Christmas, which actually was funny.
I think these movies are all okay.
Bad Santa was pretty funny.
I thought they were good.
I don't like Bad Santa.
Really?
I didn't like Bad Santa either.
Hot take, actually, I don't like Bad Santa.
I thought it was good.
But you like Bad Santa too, though,
I don't
right?
like Bad Santa.
Oh, Bad Santa 2 is top
There we
notch.
go.
So
Bad
you would
Santa.
say this new one, though, which I assume is R-rated, is funnier than those other ones that came out.
So here's the thing. Because it is crafted, it literally legitimately.
I loved Office Christmas Party.
This movie was.
I thought that was good too.
This movie, the way it was made, is they had somebody who had made Hallmark movies before write the script as a Hallmark movie without any of the R-rated comedy. Then they got the script and they talked to them and they're like, okay, listen, this is what we want to do. We want to take their script and we want to put more jokes in it and turn it into this. And they're like, oh, okay. So that's what they did and that's what they got. So it has all of the
Tropes,
pun not intended, hallmarks of a Hallmark Christmas movie, and it's a cheesy romance. They didn't change the story, they didn't do anything like that, but they just added this adult humor to it, and it works surprisingly well.
Where can people watch this?
So this is going to be out on December 2nd. On it will be in theaters. I don't know how widely it'll be in theaters, but it'll also be on AMC Plus.
Does anybody have that? Is that a thing that exists?
It's a thing.
I was just thinking the same thing. Is that a
Home
is that
of Breaking Bad
and
El Camino?
Do you mean Paramount
and
Plus?
I don't mean Paramount Plus because I'm not an idiot, Nate.
But nobody has AMC Plus.
Some people do because it's AMC. I mean, AMC Plus. It gets you like, especially like people who watch AMC shows. It gets you like the newest episode like early or something like that. And then there's
Actually, a little known fact: it's AMC T, but the T just looks like a plus.
and that's what I call it. Sorry, you didn't know that.
Yeah,
But no, so it's I'm interested to see how wide a release it is in theaters. But I hope that people do find this. I think that once they do, like they'll be pleasantly surprised by how fun it is. I want it to take off, and I hope that they do one of these every year. I would watch one every year.
It is also hard to in that trailer to understand that it could be good just because it. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's not making me want to see that movie.
Because it has Justin Long in it.
No, I love Justin Long.
Oh my god! And Justin Long is so good in this movie. He does this perfect thing where he plays like slightly like outdoors gentleman, and he's talking in like all these weird colloquialisms. It's like whatever, get your dress dirty, stuff like whatever, peels your potato, stuff like that.
In the trailer, clearly every woman is like swooning for this particular.
Not
gentleman.
everyone, just his childhood friend.
That's kind of what made it
like,
unbelievable to me.
A little bit actually.
Oh, let's not hit him, poor Justin Long.
Hey,
I like Justin Long.
I think you'd be surprised how wet Justin Long gets people.
Jesus Christ!
What is your problem?
And I say people because he appeals to everybody. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. People love Justin Long.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people.
Yeah, I see you got a twinkle in your eye right now, Nate. You're
Well,
holding back.
Moving on.
Bradley, Brett.
What?
I have a question.
Okay.
So the way we structure this podcast, for those, a little inside baseball for everyone, is you assign us trailers. You usually do the assignments.
Mm-hmm.
And then we watch them, and then we bring that. What was the purpose for not assigning this to us beforehand?
I wanted to like the immediate reaction afterwards because it's such a jarring thing to like experience that kind of movie with that kind of humor and just seeing it. And since I'd already seen the movie, I wanted to see what you guys thought of the trailer before I got in and told you like what the movie thing.
Do you know anything about the director of the movie?
So the director, it's Claire Nidlinger, I think is her name.
Because it looks like I was going to say, I mean, I don't take this in the right spirit. When I watched the trailer, it looked cheap. Everything looks really cheap.
And that's intentional.
Which is like a Hallmark movie. And she's the director, a Hallmark movie director.
She has directed Hallmark movies. And they even went out of their way. Like they wanted this to look and feel like a Hallmark movie. So they got people who, like the crew and everything, they have worked on Hallmark movies.
Wild.
And so it intentionally lacks, honestly, for lack of a better term, any real visual style. Like it's very simple, very basic stuff. There's nothing that is like...
And the studio side off, you're like, oh, this is pretty cheap to make.
Right.
No, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, I kind of mean that. I mean, you look at me like it's a joke, but
no, it's not a joke. I'm sure it was. I bet it was.
Have any of you read
point.
Have any of you read the? This is a real weird deep cut, but for anyone interested in this conversation, there's a great New Yorker article from like 5 years ago. That it's like 20 pages on. Sorry. There's like 20 pages on just like the Hallmark Channel and like talking about the people that work on it. And that sounds like a weird pitch, except imagine a New Yorker article about it, which is kind of a weird thing. But that's what makes it interesting. It's a really, really interesting deep dive into that world. And it's just this sort of completely quarantined world from kind of leftover, cast off. Was it Lacey Chabert?
Lacey Chabert,
yeah. That Dean Cain, like that's just
I love that you pretended not to know.
But it's really funny.
You had a crush on her.
Well, it's just really funny. It's kind of a funny article. It's not making fun, but
the original voice of Meg Griffin.
Yeah, correct.
So
is that her?
Yeah.
Oh,
And like first
before Mila Kunis took over
4 or 5 episodes or whatever it was before she was like she walked off basically. I don't want to do this. Like this is too crazy.
Right, which is why I think she went to the Hallmark Channel,
exactly.
right? It's because she didn't like.
But you're exactly right. It is its own little bubble, and the reason I know that is that my brother Alex
infiltrated that bubble.
Was a grip in Hollywood for about 15 years, and he got his start in Hallmark movies, and so for about 5 years he was a grip on set with these, and they were the same people every single time. I mean, from Crafty all the way up. It was the.
Do you know what though? That's one of the sort of like thesis statements of the New Yorker thing. Not to spoil it because I'm sure everybody's racing out to look up old
I'm
New
not
Yorker.
sure if you can spoil it either.
But one of the thesis statements is just that like at the end of the day, everybody's happy, everybody's taken care of, everybody knows each other. It's like a family, and I don't think I even mean that in a sentimental way. It's like it's literally just like all these people are desperate to get jobs, desperate to. It's like nope, they find the Hallmark thing. It pays well. They've got consistent hours, consistent pay. And
my brother
everybody's happy.
said the thing in Hollywood as a grip that you're looking for is the next Friends.
Yeah.
Right? Studio comedy They're never going to work holidays because the actors won't be there.
For a second, I thought you were saying like you want to find people. You want to find people who are your friends that you love to work with.
You know what? Friendships along the way is what we. No, like the next Big Bang.
Yeah.
The next. Well, that could be taken that way as well. You know, you're looking for the big. Damn it!
Anybody got any other ones? Anybody got any other ones?
No,
the
no,
next.
that's
The next Scrubs.
No,
No,
that
you
doesn't.
lost
Sorry.
it.
All right. Anyway, the next long-running television
Yeah.
sitcom, right? Second to that, the Hallmark Channel provides kind of the same thing because it still is, this tight-knit group of people
Yeah.
who know what the fuck they're doing. They're doing it pretty well for what it is.
They make like 100 a year.
They're doing good.
Yeah, I read that each film has they've got it
Doing
like,
well,
down
sorry,
to
they're
a
doing
certain
well.
budget. Like, let's say $1.5 million.
Did you read this in a New Yorker article?
No, it wasn't in
From
New
a-
York.
It was about 5 years ago.
But it like the bigger stars, right? Which again, quote unquote, bigger stars get about $150,000. But they from start to finish, this is like a 2-week shoot,
Right.
And so they could do a couple of them a year and make $500,000. And these are stars not getting paid elsewhere that much.
Well, but also you're not
So-
dealing with the same level of ego, right? Wouldn't that be kind of nice if you're just a grip, just trying to do your job and get paid and kind of whatever? It's
My
like once you
brother
get over
did
the
say
pretension,
a lot of times where these people are just nice.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah,
they're
it'd be
just like
nice.
like Ian Ziering or whatever his name is, Sharknado
Iron
guy.
Ziering?
Is this his name from
From
90210?
90210? Yeah.
So he was in
Put some
Sharknado.
respect
That's
on that
that's
name.
that's Hallmark stuff, right?
Sharknado, no.
like Sharknado?
No,
What was that from?
Sharknado
That's
was
sci-fi.
Sci-fi, sorry, but it's a very similar.
Jeez.
What kind of Hallmark movies
sci-
are you watching?
You know what I'm
What
saying?
is
Like
wrong with you?
you know what I mean.
It's that sort of niche thing with a built-in audience and a sort of
With a C-list actor,
sort of red
actress.
boxy style.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but it's the same difference. You know, they're making money. They're doing 100 of them a year
And they find friendship.
along the way.
Yeah.
And the Big Bang.
Anyway, Nate, you especially, if you
Oh, I'll watch
Watch
it. I'll
this
watch
movie,
it for sure.
yeah.
I'll watch it for
Oh,
sure.
I'll watch it for sure now.
and if it's not easy for you to get to watch in theaters or at home, because I don't know if you'll sign up for AMC Plus, then we'll have a screening with my screener.
No, that's illegal. You can't do that.
No, I'm not going to show at a bowling alley.
Why was the bowling alley? You know what? Never mind. Moving on. No, you have to have
No,
an
no, no,
actual
no.
song.
Shut
listen.
up! Don't interrupt him. He's getting to it.
I had
No,
to
no, no.
start over now because it starts with an
Let-
instrumental.
just- yeah,
and then
just
it
let
gets
him
into
get
the
to it.
lyrics. Just like a lot of
Just
songs
give him a
don't
shot.
just
Okay,
start
you know
with
what?
the
Okay,
lyrics.
hold on,
all right,
hold-
Ben?
please
Maybe
hold.
know a little something about music theory.
Please hold.
Jesus, no one just jumps in with the lyrics over
Just-
here.
Please hold.
You know what?
Please hold. I'm only saying this so you don't have to do it twice because
I'm doing it twice.
Yeah, you literally just made it so he has to do it twice.
as we discussed, it has to be a real song. You can't just make it up.
If you would have been listening, you would have told what you would have heard what song it is.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Do 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 do.
But
Let's play a game,
Ba-dum-bum.
Benny. Let's play a game, Brady. Though I hate it with all my heart, and we fight more and more because I'm not very smart. You just remember what old Nate said. Let's play a game right now.
What is this song?
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. It's Randy Newman. You got a friend in me from Toy Story.
How did you not know that? Thank you, Brad. Thank you.
Jesus.
All right, so
So you guys are going to pay out royalties now just because you said
I'm not
that.
paying shit.
I also
Tell you what, Randy Newman, come for me.
I will.
You know, as I said it, I realized it was worse.
Okay. That's going at the end of the podcast.
I just went cross-eyed for a minute. I don't even know what happened. I honestly had an ear imbalance.
Right.
Oh my god!
Wow. So Justin Long for some of us and Randy Newman for the rest of us.
Oh,
That's a good one.
All right.
I only have a problem with one thing with that song. That you pre-wrote the lyrics, and
You said, Nate, you wrote the song. I said, yes, I wrote the
no,
song.
so it's
so
like
I-
we've always
Nate,
done
listen,
it.
listen, I have compromised with you guys. I have compromised
Brad-
over and over.
Brad will
Let
agree.
us get to the game, and
Nope.
we could talk about this otherwise.
No, because the listeners will know.
And we did address this when Alex brought up the song issue.
You have to make it up on the spot.
Nate, you know that I hate to agree with Ben.
No,
But-
you don't have to, though. Listen.
No, no.
leave-
Yeah,
no,
you do.
listen.
In this
Brad-
instance,
Brad-
in this instance, hold on, Nate, hold on. the point of creating the song and the humor that comes from it is that you're improvising it because it's supposed to be bad.
But you know
So
what?
when you write
All
things down on
day.
your laptop and you're singing
No,
a song
all day.
that makes it sound
So,
like you were really good at this,
Listen,
and you're not. I could do that, Nate. What you just did, I
No,
can
but
do.
you wouldn't do that because you wouldn't prepare before. You'd barely watch the trailers
that-
before our
but that's-
podcast.
Or the movies.
But the point of it is that you're not supposed to pre-write.
Okay, but here's the thing.
This feels like
I
a broken
will-
home, guys.
It
I feel
is.
like I'm witnessing a divorce right
Okay,
now.
here's the thing. Is, I cannot guarantee I won't think about the song before, but I will not write it down in the future.
And that honestly, I can admit I will think of things like the day of
I
in the
think about
shower,
it
like,
days
oh, I bet
before.
you I could do that one. And then when the moment comes, I'm still terrible.
This is
Oh,
the most
no, I
passionate
will-
they've been all night, by the way. In case somebody else is-
I will.
Well,
I will.
we've had 130 episodes, and we for about 120, we had to you have to do a pre-existing song and just do new lyrics on the spot.
Oh.
And we literally got feedback from some of our listeners who said like because we changed it to like you can just make up any song. So
Maybe the solution is like one person names a song on the spot, the next person has to make up lyrics on the spot, then it's guaranteed on the spot.
I mean, honestly,
I hate
not
to be
bad.
the guy that
That's
just
not
comes in
bad.
here with new ideas.
No,
but
that's not bad though.
because for about
Andrew, that's the kind of idea that's going to get you to replace Ben.
for about 3 episodes, I was in
You
my
got a basement at your house?
happy place because for about 3 episodes, I just got to be like, playing some games with my best.
Because Ben
friend."
gets particularly stressed when he has to
I
improvise musically.
can't do music improv whatsoever. I'm terrible at it. So I got so stress free for about 3 episodes, and then the feedback was like, no, it's got to be an existing
It
song.
was just Alex. It was literally just one person, but we changed it because one person. Here's the thing: is we've got a game to play, and it's a Pixar game. The song was based on a Pixar game that I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
Let's get to the fucking game,
Okay,
Mister. We're running past time.
that was like, Dad, we're not stopping at McDonald's.
All right, this is a game based on Pixar trivia.
Doesn't even sound like he's having fun with that anymore.
This isn't fun for me. This isn't fun.
You know
for
what?
me.
Let's just take a breath.
No, I'm not. I'm not having fun now. All right. We're going to be playing the game, and you jackasses are going to get these right, or you're not playing anymore. All right. I'm going to give you a question, and then the person that buzzes in first gets to answer the question first.
No, Andrew's playing too, right?
Am I playing?
Andrew's playing
Could you
too.
keep looking at me and Ben?
How do I buzz in?
No,
I just
wait,
say
wait,
the word
wait,
buzz?
wait, I will get there.
I'm sorry.
Whoa!
Not right
Whoa,
now.
Hey, don't take it on your friend.
No. You can be
You don't-
Hey,
you
let's
guys
be real
have
here.
pushed me.
You can be mad at me and Brett. You do not. You're not allowed to be mad.
That's not Tim Gus.
I've been
Do
made to feel
not.
small, Nate.
All right. The what I need from you guys all.
Yeah.
Is I need your buzzer. Give me a buzzer.
Bap.
Do that again.
Bap. Wow. Wait, what? That's okay. Why do you have like dry oats in your mouth?
Would you provide wet oats in my mouth?
All right. Andrew, I need a buzzer for you.
Bzz.
All right.
Simple.
I forgot mine. What did I do?
Yours just bot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I forgot mine.
Like that really bad.
Ben lost his shoes again.
I hate all of you except for Andrew.
Thank you.
All right. Here we go.
Yep.
Was that your?
No.
All right. What company on the brink of bankruptcy says they were saved from financial collapse because one of their toys was featured in a Pixar film?
What happens if you get a wrong answer?
You're,
Nothing. You
I
just
mean,
don't
should we
get a
ju-
point.
Okay.
Oh,
I heard a loud buzzer.
That's definitely Brad.
Is it Slinky?
that's a good guess.
Mr.
Right film, wrong toy.
Potato Head.
Wrong.
Oh.
That was actually gonna be my guess as Mr. Potato. I'm just gonna be honest with you. That was gonna be my guess.
Thank you
I want to
for
be
being
candid.
honest.
I want to be candid.
He didn't want you to yell at him.
Well, I'm frightened. I've
Oh,
seen
the answer-
plastic army men.
The answer is Etch a Sketch.
I
that's
would
a good
not
one.
think that. All right.
Next question. Which famous actor died before a Pixar
right.
film?
Ed Asner.
No. Which
Really?
famous actor died before a Pixar film could record their voice lines? But
Oh, I do know this.
Pixar was
I know this too.
an asshole.
Jim Varney.
wrong.
No,
Oh.
no, wait.
But Pixar was able to use samples of this actor's voice from other films.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, you're new here. Once we guess, we're out. we can't re-guess. So
Oh,
you
okay,
can wait for the
okay.
whole question.
Oh, okay.
There's no stress on you right now.
Well, the stress is that I cannot think of his name right now. But he's the Don Rickles.
Yeah, that's it.
Bing, 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 bing.
That's your noise for yes.
Yeah, he got it right.
So wait, what was the movie?
It's Toy Story 3.
No,
Toy Story
like,
4.
Oh, 4, yeah, sorry.
for what character though?
Mr. Potato Head.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I missed all like what he was saying.
Don Rickles played Mr. Potato Head in the Toy Story series,
Yes.
and he had died before the fourth film. They were able to essentially take
Gotcha.
his voice.
Cobble together audio
Yep.
they'd collected.
Yep.
I was
over the
so
years.
worried that Andrew didn't know the rules that I wasn't listening.
You have
That's fine.
headphones on. What didn't you hear?
I was again.
All right.
Thinking about Andrew.
I feel so loved right now.
Pixar's founding has layers, so there are a few people considered to be founders of the company. Can you name any of the 4 "quote-unquote" founders of Pixar? If so,
I was first. Steve Jobs.
that is one of them. Can anybody name any other?
John Lasseter.
No.
Those are my 2 guesses in that order. and I'm out. I really don't know.
Steve Jobs, Alvy Ray Smith, Alexander Schur, and Edmund Catmull.
Catmull.
Did you
Oh,
know
wow.
all 4 of them?
No, I only knew Ed Catmull and John or
right.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, I only need to see
Good job.
jobs.
Just
So
jumping in-
1-1-0.
jumping in the- Just jumping in the end there
1-1-0.
to make it sound like you knew all 4.
All right, in 2010, Pixar canceled a scheduled film that was planned to be released in 2011. It marked the first Pixar theatrical film to be canceled after reaching the production stage. The film was written and directed by Gary Rydstrom, who is famous for sound editing films, including Pixar films such as Toy Story, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, and more. Actors Ben Stiller, William Shatner, and Dabney Coleman were already attached to the film in voice roles. What was this film called?
Fuck, I forgot the name of the movie.
Was it an early version of The Good Dinosaur? No. I feel like I knew this at one point.
The luggage sketch from SNL.
No, I don't know. I can't remember.
It was called Newt.
Newt, yes.
About
And
Newt
It
Gingrich.
was about a
biopic.
neutron or something like
was
cell.
by-
No,
like
it,
literally
it was about literally a newt.
Oh, I gotta say, I have no idea.
They're
about
not
this.
that
Yeah, I
nuanced
thought
about
I
it.
knew this.
I
but
think
did
I think
not.
they released like 2 pieces of concept art or something.
Yeah, I mean, but they'd already started
Yeah.
in production for this film.
Yeah, I guess I don't know this.
All right.
No, the crazy part about that
Good
was
trivia.
that Chris Farley had already recorded all of his lines.
I did know that. I did.
a couple. Let's do some easier ones here. What were the 2 dicks?
Justin Long.
Nope. Yeah, and the other one. And
What
the
are
other
the names of the 2 dicks sucked in the
Cut it all. Cut it all.
What were the 2 Disney Pixar movies released in 2020?
Soul. And fart noise. Sorry.
Bzz. Is it Luca? Encanto? Oh, it's 2 at once.
It's Soul and Onward.
Is that right?
Oh, Onward.
wow.
I do
Yeah.
remember watching
Onward was the last movie
Yeah.
I saw in theaters before
Oh,
the
wow.
pandemic.
What is the name of the in-house proprietary 3D animation software created and used by Disney and Pixar for its animations?
Oh shit!
I feel like this is going to sound familiar, but
I'm surprised you don't know
yeah,
this.
this
By
is
the way.
embarrassing. I'm put to shame right now.
They literally invented it. And they
Yeah,
use
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
specifically-
Isn't it open source now? Or not open source, but isn't it released to the public to use? Actually,
I don't know if it is or not, but it is proprietary. They do own it.
It's probably called like Pix Art.
Nope. But
No,
we're gonna get
I
into some
tried
of
that.
that.
Oh, sorry. Pix Art.
Are you ready?
Hold on.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Randy Newman.
You're gonna know this.
Are you
Yeah,
ready to
as,
hate
as soon as I
yourself?
hear, it, I'm be mad.
Presto.
Oh no, I didn't know that
Nope,
actually.
that
I was
doesn't
thinking
sound
something
familiar.
else.
I'm
yeah.
sure I heard that before.
Well,
Doesn't
it
sound
was-
familiar.
That was the early version, and now it's called Change-O.
Oh, you fucking lazy son of a bitch.
The vision for Pixar was started in 1974 by entrepreneur and academic Alexander Schur and animators Edwin Catmull, Malcolm Blanchard, and Alvy Ray Smith and David DeFrancesco. The original name was Computer Graphics Lab. After realizing they needed a real film studio to create their first full-length digital film, 2 very famous directors invited Alvy Ray Smith to a 3-day conference where they shared their vision for the future of digital movie making. Who were those 2 famous directors?
I'm going to say it was George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. I tried.
One of them is right.
It's George Lucas and
Oh, now I feel actually pretty good about
Jeffrey
myself.
Katzenberg.
Ooh.
No.
I'm going to be honest again. My guess is going to be George Lucas and Steven Spielberg.
I know Lucas is right.
Yeah.
I love that Andrew is willing to say what I could say, except he's not willing to be an ass and make an ass of himself like I am. I like the reservedness.
This
there.
is. It's always fun to find out what normal people are like.
George.
You're like, so play it out and try something. My
George
whole life.
Lucas is one of the right answers. And Francis Ford Coppola.
Francis Ford
Oh
Coppola.
wow!
Okay.
We were referring to him earlier.
Where
too.
does the name Pixar come from? Just a couple more questions here.
I've seen
Andrew.
My best guess is Pixels because it's computer-based animation.
Big fans of the Adam Sandler film?
That as well, I'm sure.
No.
Yeah, I've seen a Pixar story and I forget.
Yeah.
And which, by the way, if you haven't seen the Pixar story, I think it's still on Netflix. It's a great documentary about
In
how Pixar can be.
1983, a designer suggested naming a new digital compositing computer the Picture Maker. Alva Ray Smith suggested that the laser-based device have a catchier name and came up with Pixar,
I can't believe you expected one of us to know
which,
that.
after a meeting, was changed to Pixar.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely something one of us should
I
have
feel
known.
like that would be something that I might know because
I probably could have summed up. I'm not sure I would have said all of that.
Yeah, but again, a computer software essentially.
Yeah.
Final question. This Cal Arts graduate began as an animator in the 1980s.
John Lasseter.
No.
Brad Bird.
No.
Shit.
Oh,
I'm not even done with the
yeah.
question.
You don't have to do that. You can wait for the whole question now. We fucked up.
Well, this is part of the fun.
Oh yeah.
Tim Burton.
No.
Ah! Oh, all right. Well,
All right, finish the question.
No, it resets. It resets.
Yeah, finish the question
Now
now.
it resets. Now it
That's
resets.
the rule.
No.
Finish the question.
All three of us screwed up. So
Finish
now
the
it resets.
question. Finish the question.
I don't want to.
Nate, I will break your computer if you don't reset.
Wait,
this
why are you
script.
being
I
coy
will
suddenly?
smash that computer.
I'm done.
I will break all of this.
Finish the
stuff.
question.
This
Do it or I will hurt you. I will take that boot off your foot and I will smash it in your face.
Don't touch my shoes.
It's a thick boot.
This Cal Arts graduate began as an animator in the 1980s. He was rejected by Disney 3 times before settling for a job as the second animator at Pixar. He was the 9th total employee at Pixar. After a disastrous test screening of an early showing of Toy Story, this person retreated to a windowless office and reworked the script with a young script doctor named Joss Whedon. In addition to Toy Story, he would also write A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, WALL-E, Finding Dory, and Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
Who is this man?
Andrew Stanton.
That is correct.
Wow.
I think
Oh,
Brad
nice job.
won.
Nice job.
Is it because he shares a name with somebody you know?
I mean, I do know somebody named Andrew Stanton, but that's not why I know who Andrew
You
Stanton
make the
is.
connection kind of in your brain.
Hey,
Like, I'll
guys.
always remember that.
Thanks for playing the game.
Man, I thought that you said there's a couple more questions. That was only
No,
one
that
more
was a couple
question.
of questions after that one. Okay, I can come up with another question I remember.
All right.
Oh, okay.
All right. What movie was almost accidentally deleted?
I know that. Oh.
It's Toy Story 2.
Correct.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
All right, that's okay.
But and the woman was on maternity leave and had a copy on her hard drive.
Yeah.
Correct.
Otherwise, they'd have been fucked.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine
That's-
almost done?
I love the phone call that
That's
must have
rough.
happened because back then, right, it wasn't like a text; it would have been a phone call.
Hey, Carol.
First of all, how's the baby?
Great.
Not here yet, right?
do you have a copy of the movie?
No, the whole thing.
Yeah. We lost it.
Well, guys,
Andrew has been my favorite part of this episode.
so Andrew, thank you so much for being on the show. You are starting a new YouTube channel or something, right? Is that what?
I am. I just soft launched a YouTube channel called This Was a Movie. And it is a series of visual essays that are overly elaborate that utilize my abilities with visual effects and compositing, and also my background in film history. And each episode focuses on a different bizarre or peculiar or possibly forgotten movie in film history, notable for being weird, and kind of explores that, gives some background information.
The
And
first 2
it's
episodes
kind of
are
funny.
about what then?
So episode number 1 is about the movie Shivers by David Cronenberg, which is his first feature film. It's a very, very peculiar movie about people that get infected with the slug that essentially turns them into horny zombies, which is a very bizarre
is-
premise.
Literally Ben's favorite genre of movie.
No, it's
I mean,
the
Horny
only-
zombie movies?
It's the only thing I watch.
I mean, who among us? You know.
So this is perfect. This is custom built for you guys. And the second episode is about a bizarre early 80s made-for-TV movie starring Tom Hanks called... Do any of you guys know actually know this?
Bachelor Party.
No, that was not made for TV. Mazes and Monsters.
Oh.
Which is a movie that is adapted from a novel about people that play Dungeons and Dragons and go crazy. So this particular essay is about both that movie and it touches on the Satanic Panic of the 80s, which is a movement where evangelical Christians were paranoid that Satan was in everything, that there were cloaked, secretive, Kabbalistic, satanic child ritual sacrifice.
Featured recently in Stranger Things season 4.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
Yeah.
so either this is like right on time for me, or this is already passe, and I look like a fool. That I'm just riding the coattails of.
I honestly didn't know Tom Hanks was in a made for TV film,
I've
so-
literally never heard of that before.
It's right before he was in Splash, and I'm trying to think. Is it right after he was in Bachelor Party, possibly, or maybe Bachelor Party hadn't been released yet?
They probably filmed them about the same time.
But
Is this easily able? Are you easily able to get a hold of that movie to watch?
yep, it's on what is that streaming service that's free that has everything on it?
YouTube.
AMC Plus.
No, Tubi? No,
Tubi is one of them, but it's not.
Roku.
yeah, it might be Tubi.
Okay.
I think it's Tubi. It's on Tubi.
Interesting.
Or you can just watch the essay. The movie itself is real boring.
Well, but that's why I want to see it, though.
No, yeah, I know it's that.
So watch the movie, then go watch the essay. And you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
some really fun video effects in there.
yeah.
It's good stuff.
Check out. You can go to my Instagram at This Was a Movie, or if you're a madman, you can actually go to youtube.com/ at This Was a Movie.
So it is available on Fubo TV.
Fubo.
It is available on Peacock, the Roku channel, Hoopla, which is a streaming service you can get for free through your library, and then it's on Vudu, Tubi, Crackle, Redbox. These are all legitimate things I'm saying, and Pluto TV. For most of them are with ads, but some of them are you can watch for.
You're
with
gonna watch this
subscription.
too, aren't you?
I kind of want to go out of my way to see it now.
And let me just caution listeners: unless you are a absolutely sadistic lover of punishment, do not watch this movie. It is really boring. But
well. You found your right group
I am
here.
so sorry, but everybody that listens to this, think about, okay, just real quick. Think about the average person that listens to this show.
yeah, you're
They're
right. That's-
gonna want to watch that.
That's disturbed. But yeah, check out my essay. At This Was a Movie on Instagram has the link to the YouTube channel. It's harder to find. We try and search it on YouTube. But yeah, the essays are really fun and funny, and I think creative and interesting. But
Check
the movies are often
that
very, very boring.
Well,
So-
I mean, Mystery Science 3000 did that, right? They take a bad movie and make it interesting somehow. And I feel like after I subscribe to your channels, I'm going to find the same.
yeah, I mean, Nate watched an episode, right? Nate, would you like to endorse me?
Yeah, it was actually really fascinating. I watched the Zombie Rapers.
Yeah. Oh well. Yep. They're right there with it.
Shut it right in
that was
there.
the I've tried to soften the language and had to soften that language quite a bit to accommodate both YouTube and the idea
So is
that I
it-
don't want to be.
Zombie humpers or
I switched it to horny zombies is what I switched it to, but zombie humpers would probably be equally good. But yes, the zombies are definitely
Was there
Only
really
bad things.
looking for
Was there
love.
really movies with zombies that actually tried to rape like humans?
It's Shivers, the movie I'm describing.
That does do that in that?
It's not as graphic as the way that language suggests. It's much more it's much softer. Well, it's shocking. In theory, the actual movie itself is relatively gentle by today's standards. But actually, it's funny you bring this up, as you may know because you watched the essay. I do talk about the history of that, and also briefly touch on the fact that there's movies about people sexually assaulting zombies, and there's a bizarre history of that as well. So if you're interested in that, that's the worst
No.
way of pitching my
I'm-
show ever.
By the way, I'm so glad that you got somehow into my Google history. But we need to move on and say, Nate, people can find you online.
yeah, I'm online.
But Brad, people can find you online
yeah.
at the Hive Mind.
Well, yeah. I mean, stick with Twitter while you can, folks. At Ethan_Anderton. But we've been moving over to Hive Social. Check that out. It's a new social media app. Seems pretty decent so far. Anyway, could be the new Twitter. Could just go away in a few months. Who knows? It's a wild west out there for social media now. So yeah, but give us 5 stars on iTunes or Apple Podcasts,
You know,
whatever.
share it with your friends.
Stitcher, Spotify,
wherever you find it.
Anchor.
Yeah, Earworm, all that shit.
Yeah.
Andrew, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Honestly,
you guys. I'm so
driving
honored
over-
to be on here.
We'll have you back on for sure.
Oh,
Seriously.
thank you so much.
so fun to talk to you.
Yeah,
Nate,
hey guys,
you were awesome as well. Brad,
I love you guys.
you were here.
Hey, this was a lot of fun.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Nah, cheating, eh?